Coach Reese. Mark Sherbert wouldn't let anybody throw them in the water until they won their first national championship. You've now won 12. Have you learned how to swim yet?
Actually, I'm a real good swimmer, and you don't need to push the slow motion button to get me to slow it down. I would like to, if it ever happens again, to not go in the water.
Didn't enjoy the little splash?
Well,
Got to be refreshing after it's hot
I'm
in
in
there.
long pants and a shirt, and
You took out your
My
hearing
breaststroke
aids and your
kick.
wallet.
my breaststroke kick, you know when you hold your hand out the car window at
Yeah.
40 miles an hour and turn it that way? My kick is that way. So I'm barely staying alive.
Will, 200 breaststroke tonight. Breaking a record like Kevin Cordes? Obviously, not to take away anything from what this team's done this weekend, but to break a record like that has to be pretty special.
And Brendan Hansen.
And Brendan Hansen's two team records in one
That
race.
was awesome.
Yeah, that was special. I mean, I knew if I needed to stand a chance to, be in the running to win that race, I'd have to get out quick, and was able to do that and come back hard. So thanks to this guy over here. He's trained me pretty well since I've been here.
Yeah.
What's your best 100 time?
That.
Coach, how do you feel knowing that you have sole possession of first place on the all-time list of national titles?
Oh gosh. When I started this sport, I never had a plan to be an Olympic coach, never had a plan to win an NCAAs. I just love to see people go fast. So I'm honored to break Mike Pepe's record because I swam in his 11th win in 1962 in Ohio State. He had guys like Artie Wolf, 200 fly was 158, and L.B. Schaefer, and guy won the IM, Harley Mull. It was just phenomenal place, and I've been a swim nut. That was my first NCAAs, and I've been a swim nut ever since.
Attention CRC patrons, the time is not.
It happens every night.
CRC will be closing at
So,
10.
Will-
Was
Means you have
that
30 minutes to finish
was
up
that
your
the
workout and
NC2A
exit the
championship
building.
where you
If
tied
you
for
have
10th
checked
with
out,
Richard
please
Quick
return
in the
to
400
permit
IM?
issued by 9:50.
No, that was the next year at NC State.
Again, the time is now 9:50.
That was when they were only
Will be
scoring
closing at 10.
6.
How would you
So we didn't have to swim off. Good thing it was 400 IM. I didn't have to swim it again. Back in those days, we went about 2,500, which these guys go about 2,800 now.
So the Cal keep going back and forth, it seems. How would you describe your rivalry with the Cal Golden Bears and David Durden?
David Durden is exceptionally smart, and he is a great thinker, and his team is one of the best fighting teams we've ever competed against. NC State is now picking up the mantle with a fighting spirit.
Coach, what's the difference you've coached?
What?
I think you have 12 team titles at this point, or 12 or 13. But what makes this team different or unique from all the other ones? You coached a lot of great teams, obviously.
It's really hard to say. It's Olympic year, and my saying is, this year all the swimmers make all the coaches look better. They try harder, they do more that they should do and less that they shouldn't do. And this group is, and everybody talked about it out there. Every team talked about the way they interact and the feelings they have for each other. And I think swimming is the greatest sport in the world because we've got the best people in the world in it.
Well,
And nobody in their right mind picks this sport. Because you get in at lane 7, swim for 2 hours, get out at lane 7, a lot more tired. Nobody else in the world can understand that. So the sport picks the swimmer. And it picks great individuals, except maybe Mel.
Is there any one moment this has been outstanding as a 2A, that is unique for you, just a wow moment? Because there were so many, anything that just
There
stopped
was. Well, Townley and the 200 free, everybody said, I've never seen anything like that. I said, well, it hadn't been done before. You shouldn't have seen it. When Will was, my guess was Will would be out under Brendan's record, and Brendan was really good, and Will went out faster on the way to a 200 that Brendan could sprint 100. That just cannot happen, and yet it did.
Will, this team was different than last year. You guys lost some senior leadership with Kip and Clay, and obviously some interesting personalities and interesting swimmers with freshmen. How did this team feel different than last year?
I was telling somebody that the other day. The 3 years I've been here, every year has been so different, and this year I want to say honestly a lot of leadership, of course from the seniors, but also the freshmen. I mean, those guys came in and just set a tone of working really hard but enjoying it every single day, and I think that helped fuel all of us every day and work out, and helped every single class just be better as a whole. And I think it transferred up to the seniors, but again, as well as the seniors transferring down to us, they've been here longer than any of us have, and just learning from them. But I have to credit the freshman class a lot with everything that's happened this year.
And so now,
you shared a hug with Pernell on the podium. Can you express the emotion you have of sharing a record-breaking moment with a longtime friend?
It's special. I mean, we go back a long ways. I guess it kind of started off at there was a swim camp we were at together at the Olympic Training Center, and we just kind of started going at it from then. We had a little race day at the end of the camp, and we were entered in the 3 same events, and I think all 3 events kind of came down to the wire. If I recall correctly, I think he got me in all of them kind of on the last 50, but it's just kind of been from day one when we first met. We kind of clicked really well, and he's just a great guy, one of the better all-around individuals I've ever met in my life, and he's just a great guy, and I'm just glad I was able to be with him for his last collegiate swim. Still has a long career ahead of him, but it's a special moment to be there with him.
So we're going to turn around. Olympic trials only a few months away. How much time do you get off? Is it back to work Monday morning, and what changes in the next few months? Because obviously, and this is the same thing for Josh. The breaststroke probably your best event long course based on the way the U.S. is.
100 breast.
So was that like a shared question?
Yeah, shared question.
I don't know how much of the time off. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of ready just to get back to work. I mean, we don't have too much time left. But
We're going to take a couple days anyway. Just they talk big tonight. Monday, I'll be the only one at the pool.
Joseph Schooling said that in December you made the decision with him to have him swim 5 relays this weekend. He went 41:15 on the tail end of that 400 free relay. Do you feel like that decision was validated by this weekend's performance?
Oh yeah, we're real happy with it.
I mean, I guess it works when you win the meet, right?
Well, his butterfly split was really good last year, coming out of 2 IMs before it, and there are some relays I would love to leave him out of prelim relays, but I left him out of the short free relay, I think. But I couldn't leave him out of the short medley because we weren't sure how that would go, and had I left him out of the short medley, we'd have been in the console heat.
Yeah. So just some final thoughts on what this weekend has meant for both of you?
If you go over all the values that swimming gives people, one of them is delayed gratification, which is a lost art in our country, sadly. And we start training in September for success at the end of March. And that's 6.5, 7 months. And to end it like this, we could have been closer and we'd been slower, I'd have been searching for why. The first morning, we were below average. Second morning, we were average. Third morning, we were good. That usually means the coach didn't get the rest right. Now, I did on Townley, but on most of the guys, like Will, his 200 IM's way better than that. His 400 is much better. He struggled in all 4 legs of that. I mean, he couldn't even he couldn't even split the breaststroke well on that thing, and that's fatigue. We started harder this year and continued harder. But for me to describe what they do in practice, you almost have to see it to believe it. They just do stuff that I'm real good at telling them what I want them to hold, and they'll end up holding 2 seconds per 100 better than I want. Just, they've overcome the coaching. I mean, I use that a lot. I get a laugh with it. A lot of truth in that. Because everybody thinks I'm a good coach. I've got a magic wand. The only magic's in the swimmers. And they've got to trust me, and then it goes both ways.
Will, follow up?
It was really special, 4 days, and especially it being a little different this year, starting off with the 800 free relay. I think that benefited, most teams well, and just kind of kicking off the meet with a fire, you could say. I mean, I think, what was it, 3 teams were under 610? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I mean, that was just awesome to see. That just got me fired up. I mean, happy for our guys, but just looking at everyone's swimming super fast. I mean, I think Georgia was in the heat before the final heat, and they were 6:12. I mean, that's unbelievable. But it's just an awesome week, and just glad everyone swam so fast. I mean, it's really fun when everyone's doing awesome. So, and just glad this guy gave me the chance to be part of this team. So couldn't do it without him.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks so much. And enjoy tonight and get some rest. See you down the road.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.